Hello, my name is Jane Smith, and I have been a member of the Parker United Methodist Church congregation since 2006. My theme for the devotion today is a message of hope. I know that there have been several devotions focused on hope over the past few months. I believe it's such an important aspect of our faith that I would like to share some additional considerations for you regarding hope today. We need hope to survive, and we are encouraged by God to focus on hope, to choose hope, so that we will not despair, so that we will not give up. As background, I have several plaques in my home. These are signs with messages, and each one serves as an inspiration to me on a daily basis. The one in my kitchen that I see first thing in the morning says, patience. The one in my living room reminds me to rejoice. Another says, scatter joy. The message I selected to put on my bathroom mirror is the very popular verse from Jeremiah 29. It's verse 11. I know the plans I have in mind for you, declares the Lord. They are plans for peace, not disaster, to give you a future filled with hope. And the one that inspired this devotion today is actually a cement block that is imprinted with the single word, hope. I bought it at a fundraiser for breast cancer research. With a focus on hope, I'll provide a couple definitions of hope from a faith perspective, a couple of scripture verses, and a devotion from the book Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. I'll begin with a scripture verse from Romans 12, verse 12. The Apostle Paul is in the Greek city of Corinth and is writing a letter to the church in Rome. You will recall that despite all the adversity and all the trials and tribulations that Paul faced, that he is often referred to as the Apostle of Hope. In fact, he mentions hope over 65 times in his letters and in the book of Acts. This message from Romans 12:12 is, be happy in your hope, stand your ground when you are in trouble, and devote yourself to prayer. A friend gave me the book Jesus Calling, and I really like this book of devotions. One of the devotions in July has hope as a theme. Here it is. Hope is a golden cord connecting you to heaven. This cord helps you to hold your head up high, even when multiple trials are buffeting you. I'll never leave your side, and I'll never let go of your hand. But without the cord of hope, your head may slump and your feet may shuffle as you journey uphill with me. Hope lifts your perspective from your weary feet to the glorious view you can see from the high road. You are reminded that the road we are traveling together is ultimately a highway to heaven. When you consider this radiant destination, the roughness or smoothness of the road ahead becomes much less significant. I'm training you to hold in your heart a dual focus. First, my continual presence, and second, the hope of heaven. Now I'd like to share with you two definitions of hope that were recently presented by Pastor Adam Hamilton in his sermon series on hope. As many of you know, Adam Hamilton is the senior pastor at the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection in the Kansas City area. This is the largest Methodist congregation in the country. He defines hope in two ways, first as a verb and then as a noun. Hope as a verb, according to Pastor Hamilton, is this: choosing to believe and act as if the future will be better than the present. And then hope as a noun, he defines this way: hope is the conviction that, despite one's present circumstances, the future will, in some meaningful sense, be better than the present. I love to refer to these definitions of hope to remind me to hope and not to despair. The second scripture I'd like to share with you today is from Hebrews chapter 6. This chapter restates the promise God made to Abraham that I will certainly bless you and multiply your descendants. And God guaranteed this with a solemn pledge. Verse 18 states, He did this so that we, who have taken refuge in him, can be encouraged to seize the hope that is lying in front of us. This hope is of a safe and secure anchor for our whole being. There are so many references to hope in the Bible, in the Psalms, in the prophets, in the Gospels, in the epistles of the Apostle Paul, and in Revelation. My hope is that today you will be blessed this day with these messages of hope.